Well, let's talk some betting and some odds, because Sportingbet has asked me to have a look at some of the games of this weekend, starting with Manchester United Newcastle. That's where I keep my notes, so that's where I'll be looking. But one of the things I've been realised looking at the stats of that game, Manchester United Newcastle, is that it should be a victory by Manchester United, you would think logically, but it doesn't look like one of those games where it's going to be a lot of goals. The odds reflect a possible victory of United, and you have to go for that, I guess. But have in mind that, of course, that Newcastle have the second best defence in the Premier League. They just conceded, 11 goals in 12 games. Manchester United, they also scored just one goal in each of the last 5 Premier League games. That's right. So you would think these are not two sides that actually are freely scoring at the moment. Plus also is the fact that United haven't conceded a goal in 5 games in the league since that famous 1-6 victory of Manchester City that still hurts. So I would think probably a victory of Manchester United, but certainly a low scoring game. Another game we're going to be looking at is Liverpool, Manchester City. It's not logical in a way to actually bet against Manchester City. You're talking about a team that defends with 6 men behind the ball and attack with 4 men, and that's very difficult to stop that. There's not much fluency in the game, but this is one that has got a team that has got lots of fire front. So you would think they would actually score, and it tends to be against the sides that are at the top. It tend to be games with lots of goals scored. I've got it somewhere here, because also remember Liverpool. Yes, they beat Chelsea, but they did it in a strange way. They actually exploited very cleverly the gaps that they were in defence of Chelsea. I'm pretty sure that they will actually do the same against Manchester City. I mean, they will see the gaps, they'll exploit them, they will score. But so will Manchester City. So look at some of the stats that I've got from the internet, of course. We've got the fact that there's been at least 4 goals in every one of the 5 games featuring City and a team from the top half of the Premier League. It could be something like that. It could be a high-scoring draw. How about a 2-2 at Anfield? Great game, sounds like, doesn't it? What else? We've got Lazio, Juventus, and this one is pretty simple. I'll give you just a couple of stats, and I think you'll agree with me that this looks like possibly a goalless 0-0 draw. It's got KG written all over it. Look, Juventus, they're away from home, they're unbeaten all season, and Lazio, unbeaten in 9 games and conceding only just 8 goals in Serie A this season. Just 8 goals. What does that sound like? A team that will probably win the league in Juventus, and another one that don't want to lose and know how not to lose in Lazio. Should we say 0-0? What else we've got? We've got Rayo Vallecano, Valencia, and Rayo Vallecano is not a team that scores freely at all. A little bit like these Italians, but not so much because they just prefer to defend. It's just that they don't have much quality up front, despite the fact that if somebody's going to score, it's going to be my friend Raúl Tamudo, former Espanyol captain, of course. I can see Valencia to win. I can see Valencia to win 2-0, and also Soldado to score again. He's on fire. So I think they're actually going to get the 3 points, and I see him scoring 2. And for the last one, we've got a Brazilian league game. An interesting one as well, because it's the top of the table, that is. That's Figueirense versus Corinthians. That's on Sunday night. And a few stats for you. Corinthians have scored at least 1 goal in the last 7 games. And actually, the Figueirense local team, 5th in the table, is a team that don't score a lot, but they've been conceding 2 recently. And despite the fact that last season I heard that this was a victory by Figueirense, I've had a look at the Sportingbet prices, and it seems to me that the ones available for Corinthians to win and to score are very tempting. So I'll go for that. And if I didn't get it right, just come back to me and tell me about it next week. Cheers.